Hey everyone, and welcome to week 38 of the OLED burn-in test. This is a burn-in test that I run weekly on my LG C9 OLED. As you can see, the model number here, OLED 65 C9 PLA. As always, begin by going through the hours of usage. So UTT just down here is 1515. So that's how many hours have been used with this panel on. And then OLED composition or compensation count. Mini pixel refresher essentially is 290 times, so that's how many times the TV's been used for more than 4 hours consecutively. And then the the major pixel refresher is is 1. It's basically that's what I ran manually. So with that, just exit out of this and I will restart the actual test. Okay, so usage for the past week has been fairly mixed. There has been a little bit of gaming on it, as well as quite a bit of sports, Champions League. One thing I will do is just highlight the date. So if I can bring up my watch, so as you can see there, we are on Saturday the 7th, and the reason you're going to be seeing this so late is basically just down to the fact that I had so many videos queued initially when I first started doing this channel and all of these subsequent videos, that just trying to keep this in focus. I did notice last week's wasn't quite in focus. Yeah, so originally when I first started filming these, basically I was doing it weekly then as well, but basically they just got queued up, and I didn't initially put them on every week. So basically after a certain point I realized that, look, these videos are just queuing up, and they're not actually getting made public. So what I started doing was queuing these for every Friday, so they'll automatically become live every Friday. Just adjust the exposure slightly there. Yeah, that should be in focus now. So yeah, as I was saying, usage has been fairly mixed. There has been obviously Champions League games throughout the week. There's been some gaming on it, and we've watched one movie as well as the Mandalorian episode for this week. As usual, basically no issues with the panel at all, as you'll hopefully see if I can keep it in focus this week. For those who are possibly watching this for the first time, welcome to the channel. If you haven't already done so, please do subscribe. Main reason for these videos is basically for anybody out there that's either got a OLED TV or somebody who's possibly looking to get an OLED TV. What this will do is give you a better idea of how they perform with a normal usage. So this isn't your use case scenario where basically you just use it for just movies or just TV shows. This is basically mixed usage, where the majority of the usage has been content with static logos, static content, if you like. Sports, most of the football that I watch tends to have static logos. Minimum it will have is a HUD for the clock and scorecard, and then at least one logo. Usually most channels will have two logos, whatever they're broadcasting, so Premier League, Champions League, whatever, and then their own logo, usually in the top right or bottom right, something like that. Most of the games that my son plays, similarly again, you'll probably have logos top left, bottom right. So these are sort of the problem areas that you'd expect to see issues if burn-in was a problem on these particular TVs. And as you can see, as you hopefully can see through the camera, because that's what I'm seeing to the naked eye, panel looks perfect. 1500 hours. Somebody did actually comment on there on one of my previous videos whether I'd had 100 hours of Fortnite, and I actually replied back saying it's actually probably closer to 1,000. And looking at it and judging by the year that we've had in 2020, and obviously the kids being off schools for so long, I think that's probably more accurate in terms of how many hours of gaming it's actually had. It's probably had over 1,000 hours on this panel, and a lot of people are going to be looking at OLED TVs now and in the future from when this video is actually produced, because of the next gen consoles, because of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, and because basically LG is the only manufacturer out there that actually gives you 2.1 HDMI ports. Yes, they're not full bandwidth, that's a whole different matter, but for people out there that are possibly looking at getting one or both of the next gen consoles, most of the OLED TVs, they're going to come with 3 or 4 full HDMI, well, not full HDMI, but 2.1 ports with all the features. So you're not having to use just a single port for your gaming console, essentially. If you wanted to buy both, you could use them both without losing any of the features of HDMI 2.1. And that's basically what LG gives you, whilst also being the main manufacturer for the panels anyway. So yeah, there's other TV manufacturers out there, Sony, Vizio, I believe, are coming to the game now as well, that are in the OLED game, and Sony probably more caters towards the filmic cinematic kind of setup, especially considering they don't really have all of the 2.1 features or all the ports anyway. Vizio, I believe, is probably more so aimed at taking on LG, and for anybody who can actually get hold of their sets, fair enough, but the panel themselves are going to be the same because they're all produced by LG anyway. So this like I say, it's to give people out there a little bit of peace of mind in terms of real world usage of an OLED panel, not babying it, not only using it for certain occasions. It's a TV, we bought it to use it for these specific conditions, basically. So with that, just exit out of that. For anybody who hasn't already done so, please do subscribe to the channel. Roughly around 80 to 90% of my views currently are still from non-subscribers. So obviously if you're liking these videos, you're benefiting from them, hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell as well, because unless you hit that, basically you'll miss out on a lot of my videos, because I do tend to upload maybe 2 or 3 a week. I was at 1 per day, but basically it just floods the inbox, and because of the way that YouTube is now doing it, you won't see more than 3 notifications from any channel per day. So essentially, if you hit that notification bell, you'll get a notification, and what you also have to do is enable notifications on your device as well. Otherwise, basically you'll only see those notifications once you actually go into YouTube. So with that, hopefully I will see you next week.